Welcome back to B3 MTB Podcast. We talk about bikes, bruises, and beverages.
With your host, Tally Hall.
And John Earle.
Oh, you see what I did there?
Dude, our intros are the favorite part of this show.
Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Episode 17. We are, again, at Adrenaline Bike Works. They got a little new thing going on, so we're going to start hanging out with them on Sundays. But we'll talk about that a little later. Yeah, dude, 1-7.
Yeah. Someone asked me how long you've been doing this. November. We started in November.
I feel like 17 November. We could have had a couple more.
Yeah, we could have had a couple more, and right now we're on a kind of once every 2 week cycle. But
that's all right.
That's all right. Yeah. What are we drinking?
So I think I've had this before on this podcast. I know I've had it before for sure. So I'm drinking a Cat 5 Key Lime Lager.
Yeah, we've had it on the show.
Yeah. And I'm doing two of them because I tried it was the Beach Blonde Ale.
Yeah.
I like blonde ales. They're really good.
Yeah.
Not super high in ABV, but it was... So, okay, let's go back to last week. Last week I was here, and I got a mango beer. But...
We spent a lot of time here.
I love this place.
I love this.
But it was a mango Kush beer. And I tried it, and the guys just... There's nothing in it. Don't worry. It's not made with anything. It doesn't have ZB. There's all that X, Y, and Z, right? But it smelled so strong. And I tried it. I was like, I can get by the smell. I was like, just give me one. And I couldn't finish it. It was so strong. And it just felt like it smelled like I was just chewing.
I have memories of that smell that are not positive memories.
Yeah.
Like just people and things that I've dealt with. So it brings me back to a place and I can't enjoy. Yeah. I cannot enjoy that drink if I'm smelling.
The beer was good. The smell was terrible. So fast forward to today, I was like, hey, let me get that Beach Blonde. And he poured a little sample of it and I brought it to my mouth and I smelt it. I smelt the Kush. It's on the tap right next to the mango Kush. I'm like,
a little PTSD on the
I was like, this
on the beer.
I was like, this smells like that one. He goes, yeah, we had that one hooked up to that tap first, and we moved it, but it's been cleaned and sanitized, and it's still carrying the smell through that beer
somehow. Yeah.
So I was like, nope, I can't drink that one. I was just give me two of those. I started feeling sick.
The Cat 5s.
Cat 5 Key Lime, dude.
Pretty good. So I went with a classic, the New Belgium Fat Tire Ale. So they've redone it. It's, I think, kind of a lighter beer now, but they kind of rebranded it. It's nice. And then I did the Three Brothers Brewing. Have we talked about them before? They're out of Apopka.
I don't think we have.
Kind of a newer brewery. I think only open for the last year.
For a year.
So I'm getting their Apopka IPA. And that's actually really smooth. It's got a good color. Very smooth. Looking forward to it.
Before we got here, I had a Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah, well, you can't go wrong.
What was it? The Juicy Hazy IPA? So good.
That's one of my faves.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about it the other day with one of our listeners, who's one of our bosses, if we'll say.
Yeah, he also mentioned that
his favorite beer. And I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I really want one of those. And I haven't had one until today.
Have you done their Fruit Force IPA? It's like one of their...
Yeah. It was a while ago. They had BOGOs on them.
So they have Juice Force and Fruit Force. Juice Force is...
I've had Juice Force. I have not had Fruit Force.
Fruit Force is a little bit fruitier, but it's like another...
Right up my alley.
Perfect for us. And... yeah, it actually is. It's like another 9%er, like 9.9 or something. It's up there.
They don't mess around.
No, and we enjoy it and thank them for their service.
I bought a blonde ale the other day. I can't remember what brand it was. It was just I was going through. It was at Publix. I was going through Publix and I saw it. I was like, oh, that looks really good. I'm gonna get it. Judging beer by how the box looks might be a wrong tactic, but I think everyone does it.
Everyone does it, and I'll bring something up on that. Go ahead.
So anyway, I brought it. I was going to a barbecue with one of my buddies, and I was like, yeah, dude, I got the beer. Don't worry about it. And I bought a heavy ABV beer, which I apologize, I can't remember what it is, and I bought a blonde ale. And we got there and we were drinking, and we started off heavy, and then we switched to the blonde ale, and we drank it, and we were like, oh my god, it was a 9.8 ABV blonde ale.
What?
Yeah, and I was like,
Was it a Sunshine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, those are top. So good.
I was like, but I was already deep, and I was like, I can't drink these right now.
You usually go to blonde ale like, dude, I'm gonna ice it down for
Yeah.
a little bit. I'll just kind of coast, dude.
I was like, I can't drink it. Anyway, that's my blonde ale story. I have 2 blonde ale stories, and that's them. So.
Dude, those Sunshine blonde ales are delicious. That's Blue Point.
Blue Point, yeah.
Yeah, Blue Point.
But it
So good.
so strong.
Yeah.
A man's beer.
It's
Clearly, I'm not there. So
it's. I've talked to someone who makes who brews, and he's like, to get a blonde ale that high, like they're doing like witchcraft to it.
Witchcraft,
Yeah.
well, that buddy brews beer too, and he just brewed what's called a smash beer, single hop, single malt beer, and
Okay.
smash. And you're supposed to be able to taste the flavors and all that stuff.
Sure.
And he brewed it, and it came out super low. It was like sub 4%. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
he's like, it's not exactly what
Was
I
that
meant.
a
I was
breakfast
like,
beer?
I was like, just send it to me. I'll drink all of it and be super happy.
Yeah, right. I was at Crooked Can earlier, and did their Space Cowboy.
We are degenerates.
Settle down, dude. That's their double IPA. It is so good, but they didn't have it on tap. They're serving it all from cans. And I'm like, hey, where are you guys selling this? They said Publix. I haven't seen a Space Cowboy at my Publix, at least, and ABC and Total Wine. But I don't have an ABC or Total Wine close to me, so I just go to Publix.
I feel like
That'll be on the lookout.
Yeah, Space Cowboy. Anyway, all right, so this episode, we got a couple things to talk about. Last minute upgrades.
Yeah.
Last minute preparations.
Which is the perfect time you should be doing an upgrade or a
yeah. Because we got a big weekend coming up.
yeah.
So this weekend we're going up to, I don't know if we talked about it last episode, we're going up to Ashville.
Yes.
Staying at Wrong Way Cabins, which I'm super excited about because...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm excited, but because I was the one that found it, I have high expectations, but I'm
Nervous.
What if it sucks?
Nervous is not
Dude,
going to put
what if it's a disaster?
Yeah, if it sucks, I'll be super pissed at you.
Like,
But I'm super excited because, I mean, the last few years we've been at Mulberry Gap, which
Yeah.
was tough. I mean, we talked about one of those trips, but and Mulberry Gap is great, but this is just everything looks newer, fresher, nicer. We're not all jammed into we're not doing 3 to a cabin or something like that. It's very different. And the only thing I do worry about though is are we going to cut away from our ride time because we have to get breakfast instead of everything at Mulberry Gap was all inclusive. Everything's right there at the base
yeah.
camp. So
I've thought about that.
And
We had to wait for breakfast to be served at Mulberry Gap, which we loved, but if breakfast is served at 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
was it though? I felt like it was super early.
No, I felt like we got up and we were waiting around. Like,
Yeah.
we'd have coffee and we'd hang out for an hour before breakfast is served.
Okay.
It kind of delayed us if we needed to go to a different spot. It was perfect if we were catching a shuttle to go up to do Bear Creek or
Yeah.
Mountain Town.
Okay, so then maybe my worries are not.
I'm hoping we can just get up, get ready, hit like a Mickey D's, or even
I don't necessarily want Mickey D's, but I do want. I hope that there's something like a morning cafe, where you can just show up, get your eggs, bacon.
there should be. In Asheville, there should be. So, Wrong Way Cabin, the idea of it is it's like an urban, it's not a campground because there's not camping, but it's like a log cabin.
Yeah, kind of like glamping.
Yes, but right across the street from downtown Asheville. So you are less than a 3-minute drive into the downtown area of Asheville, but you're still in that kind of log cabin camping feel. So that's the idea. Like, hey, we're still outside. Hopefully we can still get some bonfires going, stuff like that. But we're close to being downtown. I mean, it's the highest breweries per capita of any city in the U.S., so there are activities to do after we ride. Did you get my Instagram message about the trails and brews?
I did. I looked at it, but it
Totally sidetracking right now, sorry.
yeah. At Grand Opens the day we get there, and I just don't want it to interfere with.
I know.
I keep saying that, but like I'm super set on riding as much as I can.
Yes.
You know, and that grand opening, it looked like it was only from. I can't remember. I can look.
It was 4 to 10. So here's the thing, it's close to, I think, Black Mountain, our first ride, and so if we do Black Mountain, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, and then we come back, if we hit that area, then we're missing one of 2 nights to go to go to Asheville and just kind of enjoy the city, which is one of the reasons we're going to that area. Is, I mean, it's the downtown.
There's so much to do there. I don't want to take away from that. And the limited time we have there, I don't want to take away to go do something else, even though I'm sure that place is going to be great.
Yeah.
And it's also a grand opening. It might be like insanely busy.
Yeah, yeah. But it was like I've been following them for a little bit because someone on our Instagram was like, hey, check out this place. So I thought it was open, and then it looks really cool. And then their last post is, our grand opening is the day we get there,
Memorial Day weekend,
May 26th, from 4 to 10. I'm like, that is when we are finishing our ride. It's like, 10 minutes away. It just one of those things where you looked at, hey, this could work out. But again, one of the reasons we're going there is to experience just have more of a, a city aspect to one of our trips.
Another thing is, how far is Black Mountain from Wrong Way? Like 40 minutes or so, right?
Yeah, it's 35, 40 minutes.
So that's another thing, too, to think about. It literally just popped in my head. If it's a grand opening, people are probably not going there from their ride.
Probably not.
So we're going to be the stinky ones in a fresh crowd. Yeah,
if they are, they're going early because it's going to be a local crowd.
Yeah,
they're going there early, showering at home, and then coming back.
I don't want to drive 30-ish minutes to our cabins and then 30-ish back.
No, we're definitely not doing that.
All right, so we'll just nix that right here.
Dang it. There's so much. It's like there's so much.
We're going to have to take another trip.
Yeah, shoot, darn it. It does. There's so much to do. I do want to hit the hub that, I'm wearing their shirt again.
Well, we can hit that on the way out.
Yep. That's a cool one. You got to see it.
And so speaking of that, the hub, and you were dogging on me because I have my e-bike, and you're like, you can't bring your e-bike. Like, there's signs that say no e-bike.
There are signs.
However, we just got to confirm through someone who's been up there probably multiple times.
E-bikes.
Everyone has an e-bike.
Are snuck on the trail.
He's like, don't worry about the sign. The sign doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's like a speed limit sign.
Yeah.
I mean, you really got to pay attention to those.
Snorted. Oh, man. All right, so.
So Wrong Way Cabin. Super excited for that. Black Mountain. We talked about doing the full Upper Black Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm reading reviews, and what Erica and I did is the shortest version. We were crunched on time, so we had the shortest climb and then the shortest downhill portion, obviously. So there is an exhausting day's climb is Upper Black Mountain.
So hold on, before we get there, are we doing more than what you guys did, or are you guys doing exactly what we did?
No, we're doing more.
Okay.
What we did would be a 15-minute or 45-minute round trip. It was 30 minutes of climbing for us.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
15 minutes of downhill, but we stopped and took pictures of like this waterfall.
Yeah,
trying to be a cute couple thing. Like you could session that and do it 3-4 times, but you're only hitting the last 20% of the trail. So if you do upper black, they tell you on the reviews it's a exhausting day, and if you don't think you're fit enough, or if you're asking yourself, am I fit enough, you're probably not. So when it says day and we're starting our ride at 2 p.m. and we have plans to go eat dinner, I'm worried that we don't have enough time, and it just, everyone's like, it's grueling, it's exhausting, but it's in the end, but it's worth it, but it's worth it, but it's worth it.
So, yeah, so we also just talked to the same employee who told me I can bring my e-bike, right? And he was like...
I don't think he has authority to grant you.
No, he does. So, what he said, we talked about this, and he was like, if you're going to do it, like, it's great, it's fun. However, you're going to be hiking your bike probably over an hour to uphill, right?
Even with an e-bike, he said you'd be probably hiking.
Yeah, he said even if you have an e-bike, you're not pedaling the whole thing. Like, there's parts you have to pick your bike up over, I'm sure, trees and boulders and stuff. Like, we've been through hiking bikes before.
Yeah, and you're passing your bike to your buddy over stuff.
Now that I have a 50-pound bike, I really don't want to do that. So, you found, or you know of, a cut through.
Yeah, there is a cut through, and I think it's our best option. It doesn't give us the entire downhill. However, the upper portion of Black Mountain is the most techy, is the most difficult riding, and if not everyone is...
It wouldn't make sense for everyone to make that hike to ride something that
be
they're
exhausted
not ready for.
And then ride a double black or a black portion of that trail.
Right.
And realistically, techie stuff, like downhill techie stuff, isn't either of our favorites, I don't think. Like, we like more fast, flowy stuff.
Yeah, although I really enjoyed Jared's upper portion, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that was techie.
Dude, that was techie. That was...
So I do enjoy that part of it, but it's not for the whole group, and I understand that, and I'm not going to spend an hour going uphill.
Yeah, can you imagine
while other people are
climbing
doing
for 3 hours and then doing that upper portion for a little bit?
No. Maybe on another trip, but not this one.
Yeah. I'm confident that climb, the downhill, will be fun if we do it faster than expected and we have more time. Then we can hit that upper cove. It's like Thrift Cove, gets us that 30-minute climb, and then the last little downhill if people are like, hey, I want to hit that last portion, because it is so fun.
Yeah.
That's where you're like up on the walls of the trail riding, and so it's a possibility that we could do that, and then it gives us a good climb, a really good downhill. It's not the full experience, but it's an experience everyone will like. It's still not an easy climb. You're still climbing for a good little bit, and then we still have time to hit the Pisgah Tavern at the hub. We still have time to go to our place, get some food, get a bite. And we're all waking up at like 3 a.m, so it's not like we're gonna send a late nighter.
Yeah.
So it just kind of makes sense.
We had, on a side note, we did have one person back out. I don't know if you're aware of this yet. I'm breaking it to you.
I'm aware of it, yeah.
Which I'm a little bummed about, and no one we knew.
No.
It was an add-on. However, I'm also kind of relieved because I don't know this person at all, and I don't know the skill set, and I certainly don't want something to happen like what happened last year to one of the self-proclaimed best riders of the group.
2 years ago now.
Is it 2 years ago?
Dude, our first trip was 2 years ago.
No, he broke his shoulder last year.
No. That was 2 years ago. Because we had the Redeem
trip,
2
years ago.
And then this is, yeah. Dude,
wow.
we've been shredding the gnar for a little while now, bro.
Oh my goodness. So out of it.
So here's the thing. At Mulberry Gap, they charge you per person. At Wrong Way, they're charging you per room.
Yeah.
And so now we have an odd number, and so I got to kind of work that out.
Well, I mean,
So
the
either
person that invited that third person that bailed out should just have to cover that.
so we can cancel one room, and instead of 2 to a room, we could have 3 to a room, which they're like you can fit 4 people in a cabin
Yeah, if you're doubling up beds.
if you're doubling up beds.
Losers.
So cousins can sleep together.
Yeah. Bring an air mattress.
Yeah. So
Seriously, if someone has an air mattress.
yeah, we might just do that. Which I don't mind. Sorry, there's a very high pitched vacuum in the background.
So, all right. Well, anyway, that was a side note.
We got I think riding. We're getting a full day of riding at Rock Creek. I'm a little bit worried about the crowds.
Okay.
Because it's Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But they only sell a certain number of passes, you would imagine. That's
Yeah.
not the shuttle pass. That's the
shuttle pass.
It is a shuttle pass.
Yeah.
So they would only sell a certain number. And
I
we
would
all
think-
got our passes. So
Well, not everyone did, but
did someone not get it?
a couple people have still not gotten theirs.
You understand how frustrating this is now, right? I'm
got-
so glad
I got
you're
my
doing it.
pass. I got
my pass too. I'm so glad you've taken care of this one because
This is
I have no. Hey, guess what? Have fun doing whatever you want to do today.
and learning from last year. I think we both can agree on it. You notice I was like at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. we are starting our first ride, so it's established in our schedule. We're getting there at 9:30. You should get there at 9:30, and first ride is
Get
at
out
10.
of the truck. Get your stuff.
Get out of remember last year they got out of the truck and just like sat on the bed of the truck. The mountain was open.
But we also love you guys, so don't take this to heart.
Like
Also, move faster.
so it was just a learning opportunity for all of us.
So ride Rock Creek.
Ride Rock Creek. That'll
Which
be
I'm
a
really
full
excited
day.
about. Yeah.
Also,
So excuse me. So it's downhill, right? Obviously. Is it jumpy? Is there a jump line section? Kind of like, so, okay, if we can relate it to Jared's, is there like an air supply? Is there,
I'm not
or
sure.
is it all, what is it, 1776 or?
So there is like a 1776 where it's like more wooded, technical.
Rocky, chunky.
Yeah. So we did one of those trails, and we did their green line, which I think is Green River, which is very flowy, bermy, not a lot of jumps. I don't know about their jump line. When I went there, it was too wet. We didn't have enough. So we only had enough time to session the racetrack, the green line, and one other. So I don't know if they have a good jump line. They have good jump, like they had good features, and if it's dry, there's going to be opportunities for us to have some good sends. I don't think it's going to be as built up as Jared's place.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I think everyone else will be okay with that too, because everyone rode air supply. So I apologize if you guys don't know. 1776 Air Supply, Earle, they're both trails at Jared's place, right? 1776 obviously is a more chunky, rock, rooty, technical, awesome kind of downhill ride. Air Supply is their jump line. It's big jumps.
And it is crazy fast.
And everyone was able to ride that, and you don't have to obviously send every jump like they're meant to. You can roll them. And that's why I think everyone enjoyed that, right? But if we can dumb that down a little bit, which sounds like it might be a little dumbed down. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yeah, they have
they might enjoy that.
flowy trails. I don't remember anything being like an air supply. Like air supply was.
I mean, you're talking 30.
I had to jump at 34 point something miles an hour. That's dude. It's
at
so,
miles an hour, but they have like 30, and I think it's a 50-foot tabletop.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
which those are huge, and they were so fun.
yeah.
But also, if the rest of the group didn't want to do that, they can just
They just rode over the tabletop. It was just
break a little bit, rode over
Yeah.
the tabletop. That's fine, as long as no one's coming up behind you, right?
And I thought that was really cool about Jared's place is the people that didn't jump at all until like maybe the last couple runs.
Loved it.
Loved it. What was your favorite trail? They're like, dude, Air Supply was
so
awesome.
fun.
I was like, oh, you're jumping? He's like, no. It was so much fun though.
I mean, I got like this high off the ground, but
Bro.
it was really fun. There was I need a redemption ride at Jared's place. On a side note, okay?
Yeah.
Because there's
They've totally changed that area though.
There's one step up I haven't done. They have, I know, and there's one that last step up at Air Supply where you can do that whole step up jump.
Yeah.
Which you've sent. I can't send that one.
You can send it. You haven't sent it.
I sent all the other ones. I can't send that one. And then Dusty's down in Dusty's. So I have a revenge ride there,
good.
but that's not the trip we're talking about.
That isn't. So Rock Creek, and then there's Canoga, and I think Canoga has very established trails. They've been open for quite a while. I believe they have a jump line. You're just earning every downhill is you trying to crush, you having to climb up to the top of their mountain hill, whatever. And that's why it's Sunday, because I don't know that by the third day we're gonna have juice to do a full day ride.
Full day, yeah.
And we're not really limited by. We shouldn't be as limited by crowd. It's as fast as you can pedal up, is sooner you get to go down. I think that'll work out. I think that'll work out well for us. So from how I think we're looking at, we're a pretty full weekend of riding. There's not a lot of downtime, which is good because we're only there for 3 days, but it's really two full days, yeah. 2.5.
Which it's gonna feel different. I'm not upset, but I'm gonna miss the fact that we're not going to Mulberry Gap.
How bad do you want to go to Mulberry Gap still this year?
I do want to go to Mulberry Gap so bad.
It's like that might be, it'd be cool to do a like a fall trip, like a different time of the year, like after summer.
See the leaves change.
Yeah, I want to go.
Even for like a two-dayer, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can bring my wife. She can hang out for a little while, and then we can do a bike morning and a hike afternoon kind of thing.
There are some really cool hikes. So we talked about actually. So this summer we're doing a family camping trip. We're bringing our bikes, but it's a majority hiking trip. But there's opportunities to do little like day bikes and family biking. But on the way back, I'm like, whoa, it just kind of makes sense to hit Mulberry Gap for a day. You know, get there, get there in the evening, go to LJ, hang out, stay the night, wake up, get their breakfast. Eric and I can hit P2 real quick, do the climb, come back down, and then do a family hike.
The kids would just hang out.
Yeah, we would probably. They can. They're self-sufficient, especially in the morning. So if we did like an early morning, came back, then got breakfast because their breakfasts are phenomenal, and then did a family hike. We could do that and have a full day there, and really the kids wouldn't have to worry about the gnarly climbs. It's so good, though. Future trips, yeah. Like, that's how good Mulberry Gap is. We have a trip coming up, and as excited as I am.
Tag it on to the end of another trip.
Yeah. So what last-minute upgrades, alterations, what do you got for your bikes?
So let's talk about, last-minute upgrades and preparation. So I did a bunch, actually. We'll start with my vehicle because I bought a new vehicle, and it did
Bike rack looks good.
It looks good. You like it?
Looks good, yeah.
It looks.
Dude,
throw the bike on the back of it. It looks sick.
I was like, that dude shreds.
So, the van, dude. I got a minivan because dad life. So minivan didn't have a hitch on it, and I enjoy that work. I put hitches on a bunch of other vehicles. Putting a hitch on a minivan, F that. That was so difficult. It was so labor intensive. I will not do it. I did it.
Honestly, it sounds like you do it yourself. And again, I didn't know that was possible. You just pay money for someone else to do it. And with Magic, they put it on your car. So you're saying you've done it?
Yeah, I've put it on almost all my vehicles.
I didn't know that was possible.
I've just never done a minivan. And now I imagine, and I've never owned a sedan, so I imagine a sedan would be just as labor intensive, but I had to pull, the undercover out and cut it and pull the heat shield off and cut it and move the exhaust out of the way and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I carved out a 2-block time at the end of the night, a 2-hour time at the end of the night where I was like, Jen, the kids are in bed. I'm going to put the hitch on the car. I'll talk to you later. And it took probably 4 hours.
That's how long it takes at the shop.
I was
you just
so
turn
upset.
it in, and then it comes back.
But I did it. I'm ignoring what you're saying because I can
So you turn it into a place that does this, and then you can go.
You have to pay extra money. Why? When I'm
you have to pay extra
there.
money because you go and drink beer and have fun with friends and.
Anyway, so I got the hitch on there, and then I was done that night. The next day, I was like, I need to put my rack together. I put my rack together. Super easy. Yakima.
So
Yakima.
I told
Yakima.
Yakima. I told someone about that, and they're like, spelling wise, that's Yakima.
Yakima.
And it's like a Japanese city called Yakima. So I'm like, no, you don't understand. The point I'm trying to make is Earl's an idiot, and he mispronounced it.
No.
So Yakima is a Native American name, like I said, but it came from the Native American tribe, and the tribe was spelled differently than Yakima, and we just changed the spelling to fit
To
how
make it Yakima. Yeah.
Anyway, it's Yakima. You're not going to change the company's name because of a Japanese city that you didn't even know about before 5 seconds ago.
All I'm saying is if it's spelled the way it sounds, well, let's see what it is.
Okay. It's Y-A-K, yak.
Yak.
I-I-M-A, ma.
E, because there's vowels after the I.
Bro, you
This
know.
is elementary school, dude. Come on.
I'm not sure I passed elementary school.
Yakima. Anyway, so I got that put together, put it on there, threw the bike on there. I was like, this is the meanest looking minivan there ever is. And
You gonna get a proper roof rack on that thing?
I don't know. I might just put a supercharger on it.
Lift it.
Anyway, so those were my preparations I did for my vehicle because I need to bring my vehicle up there. Obviously, bring my bike. As far as the bike goes, I'm just gonna. If there's something I probably should do, I probably should change my brake pads from organic to metallic.
I don't think that's hard to do. I feel like you can do that.
Oh, I know I can do that. Please.
Okay.
Please.
Then I feel like you should do that.
But it's at the bottom of my list.
Stopping?
Stopping, yeah. Like, I'm going to stop.
Yes.
You never not stop.
Earl Bear. He always stops.
I stop somewhere, right? Whether it's
Could be down the hill, off the trail.
So I should probably do that, you're right. But then so I always go into my rides kind of minimalistic.
Yes. Nailed it.
I started out with like a backpack and everything, and
We all did.
and then I was like, I don't need this stuff all the time. I need it sometimes, don't need it all the time. So I got to the point where I was like, a water bottle, that's it. And then obviously the last trip, I needed extra stuff, so I did prepare myself with a strap for my down tube.
Okay.
Dakine.
Dakine.
Dakine. All the bike stuff sounds so weird.
Were you Dakine?
Dakine?
That's literally how it's spelled. Dakine.
Dakine.
It's actually the one that sounds
Well,
the
listen,
same.
you make fun of me so much because I say things wrong, but we literally just talked about something that you said wrong before. So, well, that won't go in there. Okay. Anyway, so I got I forgot it already. Dakine.
Nailed it.
down tube equipment holder, so I'm going to throw a 27.5-inch tube in there just in case my tubeless tire gets slashed like I did last time. I'll throw that in there. I got an inflator, CO2 cartridge, extra room for like a snack or something.
Yeah.
That's all I'm bringing. Oh, and I got a new water pack. I bought a Camelback hip water pack.
Okay.
So those are my last minutes, and that's it. I'm not going anything else.
I think I'm going a little bit. I have far more last minute alterations and preparations.
Yes, you do.
So
because you decided, you know what? I want to change the whole schematic of my bike.
Yeah. So on the linkage system on the Evil bikes has a flip chip, so it changes the basically how you're sitting on the bike. It changes that angle a little bit. It changes the geometry. Thank you for helping me out. So, I'm trying to I don't really understand it, so I'm trying to put it in terms that I would understand, that anyone listening would understand.
Don't dumb it down for smart people.
Okay. So head tube angle and seat tube angle, it changes that. So I've made it slacker, which should be good for fast downhill stuff. But
does it really change it that much?
It's a noticeable difference
Like a degree
when
or
I'm
two?
sitting on it. Yeah, it's a degree or two. So when I'm sitting on it, I'm like, hey, I feel like I'm sitting further back. Like I'm not, honestly, I feel like when I'm sitting down, I'm sitting further back, but almost like my chest is facing forward more. So I'm not like chest down, head down. I'm more like chest up, head up. If that makes any sense, but that's just kind of how I feel. So I haven't ridden it since I changed it. I also took Erica's old 27.5-inch on her Niner bike, which is my daughter's bike now. I stole that and put my 29-inch rear tire on that bike. So not only did I change the flip chip angle, which makes it slack, I've also turned my bike into a mullet, which sits me even further back.
You switched the rotors and everything out too?
Yeah, it was same. It was like samey, so super compatible. I had the same. It was an Eagle GX cassette in the back, which is the same that I had. So it was easy. Even I did it. Nice. And so now I've changed the geometry. I've changed the rear tire. I'm riding a mullet. I haven't changed the crank length. So now my pedals are pretty close to the ground. But we're not, besides the first day, we're not really pedaling over any terrain that I need that height. So I think I'll be fine for this trip. I'm gonna bring the 29-inch tire if I don't like it on day one. But
so if I can interject right there,
yeah,
you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
I love my mullet. However, I will say I run into the same issue with the lower ground clearance.
It's a couple inches away from the ground at its lowest point.
It's crazy how much just changing from a 29 to a 27.5 changes things. But I run into that same problem where my ground clearance is lower, and it's almost like they lowered the bike, right? But they didn't change the cranks.
Yeah.
Like you should put lower crank or shorter cranks on there.
Yeah, they have.
I need to put shorter cranks on my bike, and I think if you're going to enjoy this as much as I think you're going to,
I need to do it.
You're going to do it as well because the pedal strikes are more abundant. There's so many.
A pedal strike at the wrong time can be a nasty.
Especially doing downhill stuff, but.
So we'll see. So I've totally changed that. I have started my Freedom Machine build, which is, if you weren't listening last week, that is the name of my bike now, the Freedom Machine. I haven't gone very far. I just went from gray camo design to red grips. But
change your grips out from camo to red.
I did.
Freedom.
Freedom Machine. I've done a $30 change, and changing my grips out for $30 is going to cost me hundreds of dollars on a new design idea. So there's Groundkeeper, which is basically they make stickers that protect your bike. You got like all the top tube and down tube. They got covers for that, so if you get dings and scratches, it hits the sticker. So Groundkeeper does that. They do logos. They do shock logos. So they have a custom build, and they have Evil stickers custom. They have all those tube custom stickers. So I'm thinking I could do a lot of work there. And then someone just talked about, the same employee talked about
Pull it up.
it was Slick something.
Slick Graphics.
Slick
SLIK Graphics, which I pulled up their website, and it is really cool. I mean, they do all the custom logos and everything for bikes, and I haven't gone through all the bikes yet, but they have all the main brands. So you can change out all the colors of your graphics. You can do multicolored graphics. They do ride wraps as well.
Yeah, the ride wraps is what I was talking about.
So there's just so much, and he was like, he's invested hours onto this website because his bike has all these cool different colors, and that's what he likes. But like, I'm scrolling through the website right now, and Rainbow Glacier. Like, if you're looking at that, dude, Erica's bike, that would look so good on Erica's bike.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
So if it says RockShox and then Pike, it gives you the ability to change the color of RockShox and Pike, because Pike is one of their lines of shocks. So you're like clicking almost per letter, per word, giving you the ability to change that graphic. So there's, I think, hours that I'm about to spend trying to get this the right way. I'm thinking kind of stars and stripes. Like, if I could get white stars and stripes for a wrap design, and then either white or red for an Evil sticker. I mean, my bike's turquoise, but it's in the blue family.
Blue, yeah, no, I think even though it's not the blue that's on the American flag, I think everyone would understand what you're doing.
Yeah, what I'm doing. Like, listen, guys, I didn't have enough. I'm not gonna Yeah,
dude, I just did my Hope brakes. Relax.
Yeah, dude, I did Hope brakes. They're gonna be red. So I'm getting new rotors, new brakes. Joey's working on the order, so I'm excited about that.
Not for this trip though.
Not for because of what I want.
Yeah.
They don't sell for those brakes that we talked about. It was red and black or red and silver, but the ones I want are in red and black. He's requesting red and silver for the brakes that I want, so it's essentially a custom order. So it's going to take a little bit. So now they're going to overbleed my brakes to give me more stopping power. Maybe change, instead of organic pads, change to like a metallic pad. But I'm going to have a new brake system, or a new brake feel, and a new geometry on my bike for the trip. Could be disastrous.
Might be best that we're not going off big jumps.
Yeah, at least on the first day, I feel like if we're doing that cut through, I'll get used to the bike. But I think it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So those are our last minute upgrade preparations. Again, I have a week. I might change out my brake pads. I don't know.
I think you should.
I'm not the special order shock that they got for me. I'm not putting that on right now. It's on the shelf right now
I saw it.
because I spent too much money on my bike rack.
The Yakima.
So just gonna ride it as is for now. Rode it the other day. Super happy with how it feels. I don't want to mess anything up.
We were looking at, I don't know what episode it was, but we were here and we're like, I don't know why people get new handlebars. It makes no sense.
I know
what
exactly.
What a waste of money. For the first 30 minutes we were here, we were really, really close just to buying new handlebars.
He chose buying new handlebars for a bike, which does nothing but change the color.
This one is blue and white. I need blue and white. But it was blue and white, and my bike is turquoise, so I can't get that. But I want I want a new handlebar now.
I almost want to do a get together before we go, and have everyone bring their bikes so I can make sure everything's ready to go.
So
Unlike last trip where someone was like, "Oh, I need to get this fixed when we get there."
no, so old Manny G, he's getting his bike tuned up this week, so he's gonna be prepped. Mikey P,
He's always ready to go.
yeah, we're not worried about his preparation. Yeah.
Couple of other guys.
Yeah.
There's two people in particular I'm worried about. You know who you are.
Yeah. Old gluten-free Cody, he did ride last Sunday, so he did go to Mount Dora. He got a
He
good
didn't
ride
ride today.
He did not ride today.
I saw him today, so he didn't ride today.
No, that's all right.
But anyway, so I will say probably the next time you hear from us will be in North Carolina.
Are we gonna bring our gear?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring our gear. We can do a cast from.
We can bring whoever wants to come on that day. We'll
That'll
bring
be
them
fun.
on, and we'll talk about that ride.
I know some people have already said they don't want to be on, but I think there'll be people who there might be more beverages than bikes and bruises.
That's fine.
That's all right.
That's fine.
We'll just send it.
Live
Yeah, next time you hear.
quasi live shows. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
After the downtown Ashville, nothing else to do for the rest of the night. Throw the podcast on. See what happens.
Yeah, it could be phenomenal.
It could be disastrous.
Or disastrous.
Might not get aired.
Yeah, if you don't hear from us on the trip, it's because it turned into an absolute.
S-Fest?
Yeah.
S-H-I-T Fest?
All right.
Are we not cursing on this? Can we hammer this out?
We've maybe dropped 3 or 4 curse words. We never established whether or not we were going to cuss on the podcast. Cuss. I feel like that's a middle age. Yeah. Swear on the. We just never did.
It's gonna be a shit fest.
Yeah, it's going to be an
We'll
absolute
see.
shit show.
All right, guys.
All right, yeah. Let's turn
rambling.
this off before it gets bad. All right, get out and ride. Yeah, next time you hear from us, hopefully we're on a sweet trip.
See ya.